So it looks like we've got some more big information when it comes to Monolith Soft and what they're gearing up for next on the Nintendo Switch 2 with the next major Xenoblade game or brand new IP, because they have hired a pretty substantial person in order to get things done. We're going to talk about that and big Nintendo Switch 2 sales predicted overall for the first quarter, and a bit more with one of the games that is super highly anticipated for 2025 this month, actually. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first topic, and that is Mr. Daisuke Honda. This man has worked on some of the biggest Square Enix titles out there. Let's go over the list. Shoutouts to my man Stealth, who put this out there. Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Final Fantasy 16, and Visions of Mana. This man, Daisuke Honda, has now joined Monolith Soft. He joined them actually about 5 months ago as a freelance cutscene director, but now he has a full-time job at Monolith Soft. So they are absolutely cooking up something incredible here, and I cannot wait to see what they have for us. Obviously, working on cutscenes is super important at Monolith Soft. Monolith Soft, in my opinion, even with the hardware not being up to what people see, usually what Monolith Soft works with when it comes to the Wii or the Wii U or the Nintendo Switch, they've been able to put together some of the most impressive cutscenes in terms of choreographed movement, some incredible scenes that really just tug at the heartstrings in addition to bring the action. To me, some of the best, if not the best, cutscenes in the industry already. Not Mr. Honda here, but now that they have him and considering the type of work that he's done, obviously Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Final Fantasy 16, these all have incredible cutscenes, and now he's working at Monolith Soft with the Nintendo Switch 2, a system that is significantly better than what Nintendo has ever worked with in the past based off of the leaks. We're looking at multiple times better than the current Nintendo Switch. So this is definitely going to be a boon and a boost for Monolith Soft heading into the Nintendo Switch 2 era, and they are absolutely working on something huge when it comes down to it. Now, there's been a lot of talk about what Monolith Soft is actually working on. Is it going to be a Xenoblade Chronicles 4? Is it going to be a brand new IP? What could they be doing? Well, we know that Monolith Soft has been hiring for quite some time now with their production team 1. And that production team 1 has a very new and different type of RPG compared to what they've done in the past. So I would expect it to be something brand new, like a new IP, but I do think that it could also be a Xeno something else. So a continuation of that Xeno formula or that Xeno brand, but brought in a little bit of a different way with a new gameplay style. So for example, if you've played Xenogears from Square Enix, that was the beginning of Monolith Soft within Square Enix, and then you have Xenosaga. Xenogears and Xenosaga definitely play different with some ties to each other, and then of course Xenoblade, which absolutely plays different from Xenosaga and Xenogears, but also ties to each other as well. So I'm guessing that we could see the next Xeno whatever something else, and it plays different just like Saga and Gears did to Xenoblade. So I think it's going to be a crazy ride. I'm looking forward to seeing what Monolith Soft has for us, and they are continuing to become one of the best, if not the best, studios within Nintendo overall, just based off of what they do with their auxiliary support with games like Animal Crossing, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Splatoon, and more at Nintendo. And now they are building something incredible with the most capable hardware Nintendo has ever put out that actually supports what they can do. But now we have something incredible for them to work with compared to what they've had before. So I absolutely think this is going to be incredibly exciting. But what's also incredibly exciting is all those who are not subscribed yet to the channel hitting that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. So please hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below what your favorite Monolith Soft game is or what you're looking forward to the most, and also click that notification bell to get my vids as soon as they drop them. Let's go ahead and jump into the next topic here, because it looks like the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a big success, at least early on, which is definitely good news for Nintendo. And I think that for the industry overall, having a boost is definitely something that you want to see, as it's went through a little bit of lows recently overall. So here is the highlight of what is going on. Shout outs to Tech4Gamers for this one. Industry analyst Hideki Yatsuda. You guys know Hideki Yatsuda. I've talked about him many times before, but if you don't, he's a very brash and I would say interesting character that likes to comment and do predictions and has been right many times on some of the stuff in the industry when it comes to what's going to happen, considering he studies the industry and he looks at it and he looks at all the different investor meetings, and he's someone that people always look forward to seeing what he has to say about what's going on, and sometimes he does have a little bit of inside information here and there. So Mr. Yatsuda predicts that the Nintendo Switch 2 will sell around 6 million units in the first quarter. That is a lot of units. He also points out that the PS5 sales are a little bit lower compared to the PS4 given the same time frame, despite the latter selling well overall. He also notes that Nintendo is planning to flood the market with Nintendo Switch 2 systems to compete with the PlayStation 6 in the future. So these are all things that are interesting to talk about individually. Overall, the PlayStation 5 kind of started out a bit rough just because of the chip shortage and what was going on with the COVID situation. But I do think that things are recovering now. And if you look at it, the PlayStation 5 is actually set up really well because of Grand Theft Auto 6. I think that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a huge boost to the PlayStation economy overall. People are going to be buying microtransactions. I think the game is probably going to be more than $70. It looks like they're going to have so many units ready. Obviously, digital is going to be a huge component compared to what happened last time with Grand Theft Auto. So I do think that they're going to get a higher revenue split overall. So I do think that Grand Theft Auto is going to be huge, and that's where, if the PlayStation 5 is going to overtake the PS4 overall with sales lined up, it's going to be at that point. So that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to see later down the line. Now, I do feel that Nintendo thinks when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 that they're just not competing with the PlayStation 6. They're competing with entertainment overall. They want everyone to play Nintendo's games. That's why they have such a broad range of titles that appeal to so many different types of people that they can sell worldwide. Now, some sell better in the US compared to other places, but overall, Nintendo's looking to sell to everyone that wants to play video games. And that's what they've done with their whole Nintendo World and doing other things in the Mario Bros. Movie, getting these IPs more popular and getting more people to know what the IPs are, despite them already being pretty popular. But they have the situation with the Nintendo Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS where the popularity of their handheld and home console were at an all-time low overall compared to what they've done in the past, especially compared to the Wii and the Nintendo DS. So I do think that Nintendo's recovered extraordinarily from that with the Nintendo Switch selling over 150 million systems at this point. And if you're looking at it, 6 million for that first quarter, that seems to be a very, very good number because Nintendo has been stockpiling and getting ready for this. Now, we still need to see the price of the system. There are questions about the tariffs and how that's going to affect the system itself. Now, Nintendo has actually already came out and addressed that and said, hey, look, we don't feel like it's going to have a very big impact on it right now at this point, but we are making adjustments. We are kind of looking and navigating, and we don't only have systems that come out of China and some of these countries that are affected by the tariffs. We have other places that we can manufacture as well. So I do think that Nintendo's going to skillfully kind of navigate that because they cannot pass that huge cost onto the consumer. If the Nintendo Switch 2 is like $600, which I don't think it will be, or $500 something because of that, that's something that's going to negatively affect their business, where people aren't going to be buying as much software because people are not buying the hardware. So I fully expect the Nintendo Switch 2 to still be an affordable price. Like Mr. Furukawa said that he is looking at the history of Nintendo systems and the affordability, and where they're really going to make the money back is having to get people to sign up for the subscription services. So the NSO, doing stuff like that, that is where you can really rake in the money and make up any type of potential losses or profit margin, is getting more people to get into that. So getting GameCube on there, for example, getting other systems, providing more value, stuff like that is going to be big. On top of it, we're probably going to see $70 plus games for everything across the board. I do feel that, yeah, that's probably going to go up overall, but I do think that the system itself is going to be able to sell at a pretty good price, and people are going to pick it up, especially if Nintendo has some massive software to go along with it, which I do think that they will. We know about Mario Kart. If that's a launch title, that's going to be massive. That is the best-selling Nintendo Switch game, and there are tons of people, millions, that are ready, willing, and waiting for the next Mario Kart game. So I do think that's going to be huge. brand new 3D Mario game, Super Smash Brothers. There's going to be quite a number of different titles over the first 2 years or so that's going to absolutely get people excited about buying the system. I do think that Nintendo's probably working on Splatoon 4 as well. There's going to be a new Fire Emblem game, so there is quite a bit to get excited about. We talked about Monolith Soft's title as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have. Then of course, The Legend of Zelda, what they're working on there. I don't think there's going to be anything ready quite at the beginning, but maybe a year and a half or so into the life of the Nintendo Switch 2, we will see something on The Legend of Zelda, because they finished around 2022, so they've probably been hard at work on the next thing. So about 3 years of development or so. There was no DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, so they went right to work at the next thing. So I'm guessing it'll be like a 5-year plus or so development cycle. So we can probably see something in like 2027 overall for The Legend of Zelda when it comes to a big brand new game. Now they might have smaller stuff in terms of remakes and re-releases, remasters that they'll do to fill the gaps till we get to the next big Zelda game. But yeah, I see that Nintendo's definitely working hard. All their teams are firing on all cylinders to get content ready for the Nintendo Switch 2 so they can sell a large amount in that first quarter. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section. But we are going to move on to my most anticipated game when it comes to the first half of 2025. Well, one of my most anticipated games, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. We've got some extra information on the new content that you're going to be able to experience once you get through the story in Xenoblade Chronicles X, the new story content. So we're going to first start off here with shoutouts to Xenoblade EN, and they talked about this. They said Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition has an additional story that continues after the game's initial ending. Mira is in grave danger after being swallowed in a disappearing phenomenon. Not only that, but the ghosts are invading. So for those who know about that, that's actually pretty interesting and more ties to potential other stuff that Monolith Soft has done. And I think that this right here just shows, okay, they are going to have a resolution for the end, because the end of the game originally has a cliffhanger, but now they're going to solve exactly what is happening here. So that's definitely good to see. Now we have a bit more information as well. Shout outs to Xenoblade EN once again. And they say the additional story takes place on a floating continent that suddenly appears in the sky above Mira. There seems to be a large spear-like artificial object on this floating land. Whoever made it. So very good here. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is one of those games to me that absolutely needed to happen. Yes, it's a Wii U port. Yeah, I get it. Some people say Wii U port, but guys, everybody wanted this. Everybody wanted this game, and it's still to this day one of the most unique, well-built open worlds with its environments that's ever been done. Like the fact that you're coming off the Wii U, a system that is nowhere near as powerful as a lot of these other games out there. And yes, you can see that it doesn't have the best graphics or resolution or anything, but man, the world design and the game itself is brilliant. Monolith Soft was able to craft something pretty crazy here, and if you love the Xenoblade combat system with like Mecha or like Gundam, then this is pretty much the perfect game for you overall. Now, for me personally, I've played and beat this game, and I think that everything is really good. There are some things here and there that I don't like as much, but a lot of it is being fixed and tuned up with the Definitive Edition, because you have those quality of life features. When it comes to quest tracking overall, when it comes to the UI, the fonts being so tiny, and how Blade works and how long it takes to get your scale, the Blade licenses, how the online works, all of that has been fine-tuned, revamped. That is so much better to go through, that people that play this game for the first time are going to have a much better reception than a lot of fans did at the time with Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is seen as a great game, but definitely a lot of rough patches here and there. And I think it also mirrors the development where they had to multiple times delay the game, and there was just overall some issues in terms of the main character and what they had there and how they had to throw that out and then do an avatar character. But this time they were able to look at all of the years of issues that have kind of built up and fixed so many of those that the community did have a problem with. So it's exciting to be able to go through and play this version of the game. But what do you guys think overall about everything that we discussed here, from the Nintendo Switch 2 to Monolith Soft's big Switch 2 push, and of course Xeno X? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and check out my other Nintendo Switch RPG news, Switch 2 stuff as well, right here on screen. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.